Have you ever stared at a pile of scrap paper and wondered if it's actually good for anything? Instead of letting those leftovers collect dust or end up in the trash, why not turn them into a beautiful handmade card? Today I'm using some purple alcohol ink scraps left over from a previous project, and I'm pairing them with my Brass Bliss Open Greenery No. 2 die to create a card that's surprisingly elegant. Then before we're done, I'll show you 2 more sample cards made with different pattern papers so you can see just how versatile this design really is. Stick around and let's turn those scraps into something beautiful. Hey everyone, it's Colorado Lean. Welcome back to the craft room. This is going to be one of those projects that is really fast and really satisfying. Now, I did mention earlier that these came from a previous project, and I will go ahead and link that up in the corner for you. Now, my scraps are all 1 inch wide, but the smallest one I have measures 3 1/4 inches. So that is going to be the length for all 4 of our pieces. And you will notice also that they are different shades. And I'm going to let that work for me, not against me. So I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz paper trimmer and trim the rest of these down to 3 1/4 inches wide. Now I'm going to bring in another scrap piece of black cardstock. This is a linen texture that I get from my local print shop. And I am going to cut this down into 3 1/2 by 1 1/4 inch rectangles. And while I have my paper trimmer out, I am also going to cut down my card base. This is 110 pounds Recollections cardstock that I'm going to cut to 5 1/2 inches tall. And then I will set this aside for later. All right, let's go ahead and glue our alcohol ink panel to our mats. And to do that, I'm going to use Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. And it looks like I need to refill my bottle again. And there are our 4 pieces. So I'm going to set these aside to dry. Now I'm going to bring in my Martha Stewart scoreboard. And I am going to score my card base at 4 1/4. Now that our card base is ready, the next step is to place our alcohol ink panels onto our card front. And because I have 2 different shades of paper, I'm going to stagger them dark and light, dark and light. So really the only design question we have is, do we line them up in the center, or do we stagger them off to the sides like that? So let me know down in the comments, which way would you do it? Would you have them straight down the center, or do you like them kind of staggered like this? I actually prefer them staggered off like this. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And to make sure we have enough margin in between all the layers, we are going to have some pretty small margins on here. So I am going to add my Barely Art glue to the first dark panel. And I'm going to stagger that off to the left. So I'm going to go dark, light, dark, and light. So I'm going to take a light panel and to help get my margins set, I'm going to put this one down here at the bottom. I'm going to do my best to match the margins that I used up here at the top. And then now I am just going to fill in the middle. So my next light one will be up here. And again, I want to do my best to mirror the margin. Now, we all know that if it isn't perfect for me, that is fine. Nothing handmade is 100% perfect. And then I will place my last piece. For the focal image on today's card, I'm going to be using the Brass Bliss Open Greenery number 2 die. And I'm going to be using this large branch here. Now, I have already cut this out from a scrap piece of silver metallic cardstock. And I think that is going to be stunning. Now, the whole card is really glary on camera, but in person, oh, chef's kiss. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this with my reverse tweezers, get my card out of the way, and I'm going to add glue to the tips of the leaves, down the center of the leaves, on the larger parts of the stem, and of course the very end of it. And then I will bring my card back in. And let's see. I think right there looks good. Now, because I didn't use a whole lot of glue, I am going to have to make sure I hold down those spots that I did put glue on. And believe it or not, there is our finished card. I decided not to add a sentiment to today's card. I really like how the silver greenery stands out against the alcohol ink panels. It can easily be customized later for whatever occasion I need. Before we wrap up, I want to show you a couple more examples using this same layout. This first one uses a scrap of pattern paper with the large greenery die, giving it a completely different look. And this second card uses another pattern paper scrap along with a die-cut flower and a birthday sentiment. It's proof that even if your scraps come from different paper collections, this design still works beautifully. If you'd like a closer look at any of these cards, you'll find close-up photos of all three on the corresponding blog post. I'll have that link for you in the description below. Now, whether you're using alcohol ink backgrounds, pattern paper, or even cardstock leftovers, this is one of those quick and easy designs that's perfect when you need a handmade card in a hurry. Sometimes the simplest designs end up being the most elegant. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which layout do you prefer? Would you center the panel or stagger them like I did? Let me know in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing what you would choose. Thank you so much for spending some creative time with me today. If you enjoyed this project, give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next tutorial. Until next time, Happy crafting!